Welcome to quantitative aptitude video on surds and indices from careerright.com. This topic is one of the fundamentals of quantitative aptitude and hence placement test, job interview, bank, MBA and other exams give importance to sums of this topic. You can always find 3 to 4 sums related to it in every exam. Today we will learn tips and tricks to solve sums related to surds and indices very quickly and very easily. You can practice this topic on careerright.com, which has practice test as well as 1000 plus aptitude questions. So let's start with surds and indices. Let us understand what do you mean by indices, and then let's take a look at some of the tips related to indices that would be very helpful to solve sums related to surds and indices. Now you might have come across expressions like a cube or a square or say 6 raised to 5 and all that stuff. So this is nothing but a raised to the power of 3, a raised to the power of 2, 6 raised to the power of 5. This is known as the base. A6, this is the base and this is nothing but the power, or this is called as the index, okay, and plural of index is indices, right? So over here 3 raised to 3 raised to 2 raised to 5, this 3 to 5 is nothing but index. So it is base raised to the power of index, base raised to the power of index, okay. So this is nothing but indices, okay, and you have also seen expressions like root of 3, root of 2 or cube root of 2 or say fifth root of 4 and all that stuff. This is nothing but a surd. Whenever we are talking about root, we are talking of surd, okay. This is nothing but surd. This is called as a surd, right? So these are surds and these are indices, okay. See how easy it is, there is nothing much, these are only the things which we know and these are only names for those things. Now let us see some examples or some tips that would be very useful or which are very important and needed while solving sums. Now the first tip is, say we have p raised to m multiplied by p raised to n. What will be answer of this, or what can we write? We can simply write p raised to, since both p are same, p raised to m plus n. So whenever we have multiplication sign and the bases are same, p and p, then we can simply add the powers or add the indices, okay, m plus n. If this is for multiplication, what will be for division? P raised to m divided by p raised to n. It is simply p raised to m minus n. See how easy it is for multiplication if we add, then for division we subtract, right? Let us move on to another tip, okay. If we have p raised to m and this whole thing is raised to n, then we can simply write it as p raised to mn. Let's take an example. Say we have 2 raised to 6 and this whole is raised to say 8. Then we can have 2 raised to 6 into 8, 2 raised to 48. Please remember, here it is addition, okay, here it is addition because there is multiplication sign over here, but here it is raised to and raised to, okay, this whole raised to. So we multiply over here, we multiply over here, we do not add. It is not 6 plus 8, it is 6 multiplied by 8, okay. Let us see another trick, okay. Now say if we have seen this example in while solving. What do we see? 2 into 3 and say this whole is raised to 5. So what do we write? 2 raised to 5 multiplied by 3 raised to 5. Same way, if we have p and q, p multiplied by q, say if it is raised to a, then it would be p raised to a multiplied by q raised to a. See, it is very easy. There is nothing, all these things you have used in the sums up till now, okay, in mathematics. It is just an explanation of these concepts which you already know, okay. Now here what have they given? Take a look. Here they have given p raised to m raised to n is p mn, okay. If we have p raised to n raised to m, it will be same. P raised to n into m is nothing but mn only. It is same, right? So you take m over here, n over here, it doesn't matter. So remember this trick also, okay? Now let us move on to another tip. Let us see. Now p raised to 1, we know it is p, okay? Anything raised to 1 is p, and we also know that anything raised to 0 is 1. So we have p raised to 0 equal to 1. Now moving to another trick. Say we have an fraction a upon b, and the whole thing is raised to say p, okay? What we will get? We can write it as a raised to p upon b raised to p. I'll write it over here for better understanding. Say a upon b, the whole raised to p. We can write it as a raised to p upon b raised to p. Okay, very easy. Just simply take the square, okay, or simply take the raised to power, because what do we do? Say we have 2 by 3 square. What do we write? We take 2 square and we take 3 square. It is the same thing over here. A raised to p divided by b raised to p. Okay. Now after this, let us move on to another very important tip, which is very useful. Say we have p raised to n, okay, then we can write this as or we have p raised to n, okay, this is p raised to n. Supposedly we have p raised to minus n. What does p raised to minus n mean? It means 1 upon p raised to n. This is very important. You should know this, because most of the sums or many sums in entire quantitative aptitude use this concept. P raised to minus n is nothing but 1 upon p raised to n. Just remember this concept. Also another small thing, say if p raised to n is a plus root b, okay. Say if p raised to n is a plus root b, then p raised to minus n will be a minus root b, okay. You don't have to take 1 upon a plus root b or anything like that. You can directly write if p raised to n is a plus root b, p raised to minus n is a minus root b. This is also an important derivation. Sums can be asked based on this also, okay. So let us, now we have seen some indices tips, let us see some more indices tips. Continuing from the tips which we have seen earlier, okay, let us see another tip. Say if we have x raised to a upon x raised to b, and this whole is raised to c, multiplied by x raised to b upon x raised to c, the whole raised to a, multiplied by x raised to c upon x raised to a, the whole multiplied by b, then the answer for this will be, can someone guess? Yes, it is 1. Why? Let us see. What do we have over here? This would be x raised to a raised to c, that is x raised to ac upon x raised to bc, okay, multiplied by x raised to b into a is nothing but ab, x raised to ac again multiplied by x raised to bc upon x raised to ab. Everything gets cancelled and we get the answer as 1, okay. See, so in exam, whenever you get such kind of expressions, just try to see if you can get it into this format. The answer comes out to be 1 directly, right? Next, another tip, x, if we have x raised to a, okay, and x raised to b, and this is raised to say a plus b, okay, it is not c like the previous tip, it is a plus b, these two powers multiplied by x raised to b upon x raised to c raised to b plus c, okay, multiplied by x raised to c upon x raised to a raised to c plus a, then again the answer will be 1, okay. You can solve this and you can check it out for yourself. The answer is over here also 1. Let us see another tip, that is the third tip, okay. It is an extension of this one, okay. If we have x raised to a upon x raised to b, the whole raised to a square plus b square plus ab. Mind it is not a square plus b square plus 2ab, okay, it is just ab multiplied by x raised to b upon x raised to c upon raised to b square plus c square plus bc, okay, multiplied by x raised to c upon x raised to a the whole raised to c square plus a square plus ca or ac. We can write ac. Then the answer again over here is 1. Now this sum, what they'll do is that in exam they'll give you this expression, but they'll not give you equal to 1, okay, and they'll ask you what is this equal to, and they'll give you values of a, like say a is 2, b is 4 and c is 5, and they'll ask you what will be the value of this. No need to put in the values like this. Whenever you see this expression, just write the answer is 1, okay. Please remember it is a square plus b square plus ab. It is not plus 2ab. We have the formula for a plus b the whole square as a square plus b square plus 2ab. Okay. So it is not this formula. It is just a square plus b square plus ab. Okay. Plus ab is there. Over here plus bc plus ac. Right. So now let us see some of the tips related to surds. Okay. Surd tips are similar to indices tips. There is not much difference, but just pay close attention to whatever I am going to tell you in surd tips. Okay. Now we know what are surds. We have seen that root of 5 of 2, or this part which is there. Okay. This is nothing but surd. Okay. So if we have say mth root of p, right, this can always be written as p raised to 1 by m. Okay. So the surd part can be written as 1 by m also. So this fifth root of 2, it can be written as 2 raised to 1 by 5. See, this is a very important thing. Please remember this, because most of the sums it would be helpful to solve, right? Also we can write as, say we have the mth root of ab. Okay, we can simply write it as mth root of a multiplied by mth root of b, right? So we can separate these two. Okay, we can separate these two and show multiplication outside, and each of them should be having this mth root. So if say you have fifth root of say 48, okay, what is 48? Fifth root of 6 into 8. You can write it as fifth root of 6 multiplied by fifth root of 8. You can separate it in this way, right? Now please remember, while going the other way around, if you want to multiply, okay, if you want to multiply these two things, then you have to make sure that this surd which both of them have 6 and 8, it should be same, then only you can multiply. You cannot have fifth root of 6 multiplied by third root of 8. No, this is not allowed. You cannot directly multiply. This also has to be fifth, then only you can multiply 6 into 8 and have a common surd for it, right? Okay. Just remember, mth root of ab, it can be written as mth root of a multiplied by mth root of b. Okay. Next, we have seen for multiplication, then say we have mth root of a upon b. Again, it would be very easy, mth root of a divided by mth root of b. Just like we divide power, raised to n we had in indices. So we had a raised to n, b raised to n. Same way over here we have mth root of a, mth root of b. Now why this is true? Let us see. Okay, we'll see why this is true as well as this is true. Okay, this can be written as a upon b raised to 1 by m, correct? And we have already seen in indices, it would be a raised to 1 by m, b raised to 1 by m. What it means? It means this mth root of a, mth root of b. Same way over here, this can be written as ab raised to 1 by m. That is nothing but, we have seen in indices, a raised to 1 by m multiplied by b raised to 1 by m, that is nothing but mth root of a multiplied by mth root of b. Now moving on to another sum, okay, or another tip, very important. Okay, we have seen that, say if we have square root of 2 and if we square this, what happens? This 2 and this square root, it gets cancelled and we get 2, correct? Same way, if we have mth root of a and we raise it to the mth power only, m and m same, so this m gets cancelled and we just get the answer as a. See how easy it is. Let us take another tip. Okay, let us see another tip. Okay, what it is here, we saw it is m and m. So let us assume that let us take over here it is raised to n. It is not the same. Okay, then how to solve this? Very easy. This can be written as a raised to 1 by m raised to n. We know whenever it is raised to we multiply. So a raised to 1 by m multiplied by n, that will be a raised to n by m. Okay, now this is a result. Again, what do we have over here? A raised to n by m, correct? So what can we write over here? We can write this as a raised to n multiplied by 1 by m, that is nothing but a raised to n, the whole raised to 1 by m, that would be mth root of a raised to n. Okay, see how easy it is. So from here, where did we come? We came over here. Both these things are same. For while deriving mth root of a, the whole raised to n, from there we derived this equation, that is mth root of a raised to n. So now remember the tips regarding surds, and let us move on to few questions. Okay, and we'll apply all these tips and tricks over there. Question number 1. What will be product of root 2, cube root of 3 and sixth root of 5? Now what do we want? Multiplication of these three numbers. Like I have told earlier, the surds have to be same, then only you can multiply. Okay, please remember some things. Say for example, if you have a root of a plus root of b, okay, and you have to add these things. I mean, you have to add root of a to root of b. Don't directly write root of a plus b. This is wrong. Okay, you need to make sure this. You cannot have root of a plus root of b equal to root of a plus b. Okay, this is wrong. This is not allowed. Also same goes for subtraction. Root of a minus root of b is not equal to root of a minus b. It is not equal to root of a minus b, right? Now if you say that I have x root of a plus x root of b, okay, so I'll write it as x root of a plus b. Again it is wrong, it is not allowed, right? If you take x common at max, out of this what you will get? Root. If you take x common, you will get root of a plus root of b separate. Okay, this is allowed. You can take x common, but you cannot simply have x as common and then take root of a plus b. This is not done, right? Same way for multiplication, the surds have to be the same for multiplications as well as division. Then only you can multiply or divide. Now over here, what are the surds? 2 can be written as 2 raised to 1 by 2. Root 2 can be written as 2 raised to 1 by 2. 3 raised to 1 by 3 into 5 raised to 1 by 6. This and this has to be same, right? So what do we have? We have 1 by 2, we have 1 by 3 and 1 by 6. How to make it same? Find the LCM of 2, 3 and 6. What is the LCM of 2, 3 and 6? It is nothing but 6. So 2 into 3 is 6, right? So 1 into 3 upon 2 into 3 is 6. 3 into 2 is 6. So 3 into 2 is 6. 1 into 2 and 1 into 1 and 6 into 1. So what we will get over here? We will have 3 upon 6, 2 upon 6, 1 upon 6, right? So all the 3 would be nothing but 2 raised to 3 upon 6, 3 raised to 2 upon 6 and 5 raised to 1 upon 6. Now over here we want everything same, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, okay? So take this 3 inside. We have seen this. We can very easily write 3 by 6. How? We can write 3 by 6 as 3 into 1 by 6, okay? And if it is raised to 2, so you can take this within the bracket. So what you will have? 2 cube is 8 raised to 1 by 6. 3 square is 9 raised to 1 by 6. 5 raised to 1 by 6. Now we have the surds common. So what we can do over here? 8 into 9 into 5, the whole raised to 1 by 6. That would give us 360 raised to 1 by 6. This is the answer. Just make the surds same and common. Then you can multiply directly. Remember the tip. Okay. Moving on to question number 2. Solve for m in 47 raised to 6.5 into 47 raised to 5.9 into 47 raised to 3.7 into 47 raised to 11.3 equal to 47 raised to 2n. Okay, now here base are same. What have we learnt? A raised to m multiplied by a raised to n, it would simply be a raised to m plus n. So here we will have 47 raised to 6.5 plus 5.9 plus 3.7 plus 11.3. Okay, what it would give us? It would give us 47 raised to 6 plus 5 is 11 plus 3 is 14 plus 11 is 25. Okay, 25 plus 0.7 and 0.3 is 1 plus 0.9 is 1.9 plus 0.5 is 2.4. Okay, that would be 47 raised to 27.4, right? And this is nothing but equal to 47 raised to 2m. So comparing, what do we have over here? 47 raised to 27.4, and here we have 47 raised to 2m. Since base are same, we can compare the powers. So 27.4 would be equal to 2m, m would be equal to 2 1s are 2 3s are 6, 13.7. See how easy it was. Moving to next question. If m raised to 3b plus 6 is equal to 1, then what is value of b? Now in the last sum we saw that whenever the base are same, okay, then only we can equate, correct? Now over here base is not same. We have m raised to 3b plus 6 equal to 1, okay. So the base is not same over here. Here it is m, here it is 1. So what to do? Can we get the base to be same? Can we convert this into the format of m raised to? Let us see. What have we learnt? A raised to 0 is nothing but 1, or anything raised to 0 is 1. So m raised to 0 will also be equal to 1. So m raised to 3b plus 6 would be nothing but 1. 1 is what? M raised to 0. Base is same. Have it. Compare the powers. Okay, is equal to 0. 3b equal to minus 6, b would be equal to minus 2. Okay, moving to question number 4. 10 raised to 65,982 divided by 10 raised to 65,979 equal to 1000 raised to question mark. Now here we have to find the answer or the value in place of question mark. Let us see. Again, this is very easy. This is nothing but 65982 divided by 10 raised to 65979. We have seen for multiplication that we add. For division, what we do? We simply subtract. Okay, 982 minus 65979. That would be 10 raised to 3. Okay, now we got 10 raised to 3. So 10 raised to 3 is equal to 1000 raised to question mark. Okay, here base is not same. Let us see if we can let us see if we can make the base as same. Okay, now over here it is 1000, here it is 10. Okay, 10 raised to 3 is how much? 1000. That would be equal to 1000 raised to question mark. This is nothing but 1000 raised to 1. Okay, so comparing, what do we get? Question mark equal to 1. So 1 is the answer. Moving on. Find m square plus m raised to minus 2 when it is given that m is 9 plus root of 43. Now let us see how to solve this kind of easy sums. Okay, now this is m square plus m raised to minus 2. Okay, m raised to minus 2 can be written as 1 upon m square. We have seen p raised to minus n is nothing but 1 upon p raised to n. So m raised to minus 2 is 1 upon m raised to 2, or 1 upon m square. So what do we get over here? M square plus 1 upon m square. Okay, this is 1 upon m square means 1 square upon m square. So this looks similar to a square plus b square. Okay, this looks similar to a square plus b square. Now what do we know? We know that a plus b the whole square. This formula is what? A square plus 2ab plus b square, correct? So a plus b the whole square would be equal to how much? A plus b the whole square is nothing but a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now if we compare, if we say that this is similar to a square and b square, that means what will happen? A will be how much? Over here a will be m and here b will be 1 by m, correct? If we are saying that this is similar to this, then A will be m and B will be 1 by m, correct? So what we will have over here, m plus 1 by m, the whole square would be what? It would be a square plus b square is m square plus 1 by m square, that is m square plus 1 by m square plus 2 into m into 1 upon m, cancel out. Okay, now what do we have? M plus 1 by m, the whole square. What is the value of m? 9 plus root of 43. Okay, 9 plus root of 43 plus 1 by m. Now take a look at the right hand side. What have we learnt? If a raised to n is say b plus root c, then a raised to minus n is how much? B minus root c, right? So same way over here, if m is a plus root b, then m raised to minus 1, okay, m raised to 1, this is m raised to 1, normal m means m raised to 1, so m raised to minus 1 will be a minus root b. M we have written 9 plus root 43. What is 1 by m? 1 by m is nothing but m raised to minus 1, so it will be 9 minus root 43, the whole square would be equal to m square plus 1 by m square is m raised to minus 2, correct, plus 2. Let us solve it over here. What do we get? This gets cancelled, so we have 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 square is how much? 18 square is 324. Minus 2 would be equal to m square plus m raised to minus 2. That is nothing but m square plus m raised to minus 2 is 322. This is the answer. Moving to question number 6. Which is the smallest amongst root 3, cube root of 2, 6th root of 5 and 4th root of 4? Again over here we see that the surds are different, okay, they are not same. So if you want to compare or do anything, what do you have to do? Make them same, okay. This is nothing but 3 raised to 1 by 2, this is 2 raised to 1 by 3, this is 5 raised to 1 by 6 and this is 4 raised to 1 by 4. So we have 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 6, 1 by 4. What is the LCM of this? We have to make common. So 12 is the LCM, right? Because 12 is divisible by 2, 3, 6 as well as 4. What is 12? 2 into 6 is 12. So 1 into 6 we will have over here. 3 into 4 is 12. So 1 into 4. 6 into 2 is 12. So 1 into 2 and 4 into 3 is 12. So 1 into 3. Okay, 4 into 3 is 12. So 1 into 3 is, okay, we write 1 into 3. So we will get here 6 upon 12, 4 upon 12, 2 upon 12, 3 upon 12. And this is nothing but 3 raised to 6 upon 12, 2 raised to 4 by 12, 5 raised to 2 by 12 and 4 raised to 3 by 12. This is for this, this comes over here. This is for this, okay, this comes over here. This is for this comes over here and this is for this. So what we can write? 6 upon 12 we can write it as how? 6 multiplied by 1 by 12, okay. So that is nothing but 3 raised to 6, right. So we will have 3 square is nothing but 9, 9 nines are 81, 81 into 9, okay. So that would be nothing but 700 the whole raised to 1 by 12, 729 raised to 1 by 12. Same way for the second one, what do we have? 2 raised to 4 by 12. What you will get? 2 square is 4, 4 and 4 into 4 is 16, 16 raised to 1 by 12. Third is nothing but 5 raised to 2 by 12, that would be 25. 5 square is 25, 25 raised to 1 by 12. Next is 4 raised to 3 by 12, that is 64 raised to 1 by 12. Now we have the surds as same, okay. So when the surds are same, smallest number is the smallest, okay. Smallest number is smallest, greatest number is greatest, smallest is smallest. Which is the smallest number? There is 729, 16, 25 and 64. 16 is smallest, so 16 raised to 1 by 12 is smallest, and so 2 raised to 1 by 3 is the smallest over here, okay. Did you understand what we did? We made the surds common, and then whichever is the smallest number, smallest base, okay, smallest base number, that would be the smallest number. If the base number is greatest or larger than others, then the entire number is the largest. Moving to question number 7. What will be value of root of 1 plus m plus root of 1 minus m? Given m is 4 by 5. Now don't go directly writing root of 1 plus m minus m as 1 plus m plus 1 minus m and directly write answer as root 2. This is wrong. You cannot add that way. Okay. Now what do we have? Root of 1 plus m plus root of 1 minus m. Now we have root signs over here. Okay. Root signs. How to eliminate root signs? Very easy. Simply square. Square the expression. What we will get? 1 plus m plus root of 1 minus m. Square this. What you will get over here? You will have root of 1 plus m the whole square plus root of 1 minus m the whole square. A square plus b square plus 2 into a into b. Okay. Right. Now over here what you will have? 1 plus m plus 1 minus m plus 2. Now this is here surds are same. Root. Okay. Square root, surds are same. So we can directly multiply. What we can have? 1 plus m into bracket 1 minus m. What you will get over here? 2 plus 2 into root of 1 minus m square, because a plus b into a minus b is nothing but a square minus b square. Okay. So what is m? Value of m is 4 by 5. So what you will get over here? 2 plus 2 root of 1 minus 16 by 25. That is 2 plus 2 root of 25 minus 16 is 9. 9 upon 25, that is 2 plus 2 3s are 6 upon 5. Okay, this is 3 upon 5 into 2, 6 upon 5, that would be 5 2s are 10, 16 upon 5. So this is the answer for what? Root of 1 plus m plus root of 1 minus m the whole square. This is not the final answer. Okay. So this comes out to 16 upon 5. Now we want the answer only for this expression. So take square root. Okay. What you will get on taking square root? You will have 1 plus m plus root of 1 minus m would be equal to square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 5 is root 5. So this is the final answer. Please pay close attention. Many of times people stop over here and get the wrong answer, right? This is the answer for square. We have squared the expression. So take the square root and get the answer as 4 upon root 5. Moving to question number 8. Find value of m raised to 23 by 59 if 3m raised to 23 by 59 plus 3 into m raised to minus 23 by 59 equal to 10. Now you might think that this is pretty complicated and all that stuff, but actually it is not. It is very easy. Okay, don't go by the numbers 23 and 59 and how to solve this and all that stuff. There is a very easy way to handle such kind of sums. Now what you want is the value of this. Okay, this looks complicated, so let us write this as p. Okay, so what will this expression be? 3 multiplied by p. Okay. Now why did we take this as p? Because we see that this is repeated over here as well as here, right? So instead of writing such big numbers, let us take a simple number, substitute with a simple number like p, okay? Plus 3 into m raised to minus 23 by 59 is nothing but 1 upon m raised to 23 upon 59, okay? Is equal to 10. That is nothing but 3p plus 3 upon p would be equal to 10. So we will have 3p square plus 3 equal to 10p. Okay, 3p square minus 10p plus 3 equal to 0. This is a quadratic where the product has to be 9 and the sum has to be minus 10p. So what we can have? Minus 9 into minus 1 is nothing but 9, and minus 9 minus 1 is minus 10p. So we will have 3p square minus 9p minus p plus 3 equal to 0. So we will have 3p common, p minus 3 minus 1, p minus 3 equal to 0. So p minus 3 into 3p minus 1 would be equal to 0. Okay. So this is the value. So what we can have? We can have p equal to 3, or we can have 3p equal to 1, that is p equal to 1 by 3. So m raised to 23 by 59 can be 3, or m raised to 23 by 59 can be 1 upon 3. Okay, so these are the possible answers. Moving to next question. Root of 3 root 3, okay, equal to question mark. We have to find the answer for this. Okay, now if you have seen the video on square root and cube root, okay, you will realize that there we have given a trick that say if we have a root of a up to infinity, then the answer is nothing but a. Okay, but over here please pay attention carefully. This is not infinity. Okay, this is like, it is only 3 times. So how to find answer for this, right? Let us see how to find the answer for this. This is very easy. Okay, there is a formula for this, very easy formula. Let us take a look at the formula. Right now, the formula is that if you have a root of a up to say n times, here n is not infinity, n is some finite number, 10, 20, what, n times. Here it is just 3 times. Okay, so if it is n times, then answer would be a raised to 2 raised to n minus 1 divided by 2 raised to n. So a will be raised to this fraction, 2 raised to n minus 1 upon 2 raised to n. Just remember or by heart this formula. Okay, generally one sum is asked of such kind. Okay, there is a very high probability that such kind of sum might be asked. This is very important, so spend some time and by heart this formula. It will hardly take you 10 minutes to remember the entire formula as well as revise it. Okay, once you by heart it, it will remain in your head forever, right? So if you have n times, okay, it is answer is a raised to 2 raised to n minus 1 divided by 2 raised to n. So over here value of n is how much? 3. Why 3 times? Why? Because we have root of 3 root of 3 root of 3. It is only 3 times, and value of a, that is the base number, is nothing but 3. Correct? So the answer will be 3 raised to 2 raised to how many times? 3 times, minus 1 upon 2 raised to how many times? 3 times. That would be equal to 3 raised to 8 minus 1 divided by 8. That would be equal to 3 raised to 7 upon 8. This is the answer. This is the final answer. Did you understand? It is very easy. It is not like square root and cube root. You can check out the video of square root and cube root also. There are also many tricks and tips given over there, okay, which are related to surds and indices, right? So take a look at that also, right? Check. But over here it is not infinite, it is just n times. So n times the formula is a raised to 2 raised to n minus 1 upon 2 raised to n. Okay, remember the formula. Question number 10. There are 4 expressions given below separated by is equal to sign. Which one of the 4 expressions is not the same as the other 3? Now the sum is actually very easy, but let us understand what have they given. Okay, they have given 4 expressions, 1, 2, 3 and 4. They are saying that all the 4 are equal to each other, but except 1. Okay, so there is one expression which is not same as the other 3. That means, say for example, this expression is there, okay, it is same as this and this, okay, other 3, but there is one expression, say this one, okay, it is not same as the other 3. You get the you get different answer for it. Now we have to find the uncommon expression. It is not this one, I am just giving an example. Okay, so we have to find the uncommon expression. How to do it? Very easy. Just solve each expression. What is this? 6 square into 6. What is that? 36 into 6. That is nothing but 216. Okay. What is the second one? 6 raised to 1 raised to 3. That is 1 into 3 is 3. 6 cube is nothing but 216. So these two are equal. Okay. Now what is this? 2 cube plus 3 cube. So what is 2 cube? 8. 3 cube is 27. What do we get? 35. But 35 is not equal to these two. Okay, 35 is different. These two are 216, 216. So 35 is not equal to these two. That means 35 is nothing but the odd one out. So this expression, okay, this expression, smaller one, 2 cube plus 3 cube, this is the odd man out and this is the answer. So the expression number 3 is the answer. So mark expression number 3 as the answer, or the expression which is not same as the other 3. These kind of sums are rare, but still I included this kind of sum because you never know, anything can come up. Okay, so now you are familiar with this kind of sum also. Moving to question number 11. What is value of 2 raised to minus 2 raised to 2? Again, very easy. What we have? 2 raised to minus 2 square. Okay, now what? Take this and solve this. Minus 2 raised to 2. Square of a negative number is a positive number only. So 2 square is 4. 2 raised to 4. This is the answer, or we can write it as 2 square into 2 square, that is 4 into 4 is 16. This is the answer. Moving to next question. What is value of 2 raised to 2 raised to minus 2? Again, what do we have over here? Raised to minus 2. Now, what have they given? This is not the same as the previous one. Please be careful. Let's solve this one. Okay, what we will get? 2 raised to minus 2. That is nothing but 1 upon 2 raised to 2. 1 upon 4. So this will become 2 raised to 1 by 4, or we can write 4th root of 2. This is the answer. Moving to next question. Question number 13. What is value of m in p by q raised to 2m plus 2 equal to q by p raised to 9 minus m? Now in previous sums what we did, we had the bases as same, okay, and then we compared the powers, but here the bases are not same. So can we get the bases to be same? What is the base? One is p by q, other one is q by p. Can we make them same? Yes, there is a very easy trick. Okay, if we have the base exactly opposite, like here it is p by q, so the other base is exactly inverted, q by p. Okay, if we want to convert this into this, very easily we can write p upon q raised to minus 1. Okay, if we invert it, if we take this over here, take this over here, this is raised to 1. So this 1 will get converted to minus 1. Okay, so why? Because if say we have a raised to 2, okay, then if we have a raised to minus 2, we write it as a raised to 2. That means that if we have a raised to 2, we can write it as a raised to minus 2, correct? So we took a raised to 2, that is a square, below in the denominator, and whatever 1 was there in denominator we took over here, correct? Same way what we did, q we took over here, so it will become q raised to minus 1, p we take over here, it will become p raised to minus 1, we take the minus 1 common. So you can simply interchange. So q upon p raised to 9 upon m can simply be p upon q raised to minus 1 into 9 minus m. Okay, so you will have it p upon q raised to m minus 9. Okay, now this m minus 9 can be compared with 2m plus 2. Okay, so we will have 2m plus 2 would be equal to m minus 9. 2m minus m, this minus 11 is the answer. Moving to next question. What is value of 36 raised to 1 by 6? Okay, now here you don't have to actually calculate the value, you will be given some options and based on that you have to choose the correct option. Okay, this is 36 raised to 1 by 6. 36 is nothing but 6 square raised to 1 by 6. Okay, that would be 6 raised to 2 by 6, that would be 6 raised to 1 by 3, that is cube root of 6. We cannot simplify further, so this is the answer. Moving to next question. Question number 15. How many zeros are there in 2000 raised to 10? Very easy. 2000 raised to 10 means what? 2000 multiplied by 2000 multiplied by 2000 multiplied by, like this, how much? 10 times. Okay, now this would be 2000 is what? 2000 is 2 into 1000. Okay, 1000 has how many zeros? 3 zeros. So in 2000 there are 3 zeros. Do it 10 times. Okay, what it would be? 30 zeros. This is the answer. Moving to question number 16. What will come in place of question mark in 72 upon question mark raised to 8 by 5 equal to question mark raised to 7 by 5 divided by 24? Again, very easy. This can be written as 72 into 24 would be equal to question mark raised to 7 by 5 multiplied by question mark raised to 8 by 5. Okay, that is question mark raised to 7 plus 7 by 5 plus 8 by 5. We have seen, okay, this rule, right? M plus n, question mark raised to 15 upon 5, that is question mark raised to 3 cube. Okay, so now don't multiply and then find the cube root. Let us see how to quickly find the cube root. Just find factors for 72 and 24. Okay, 72 is 2 into 36, 24 is 2 into 12 would be equal to, let us write the factors first. 2 into 18 into 2 into 4 into 3, that would be equal to question mark cube. This 2 can be written as 2 cube multiplied by 18 is nothing but 6 into 3 into 4 into 3 would be equal to cube. Okay, 2 cube multiplied by 6 is nothing but 3 into 2 into 3 into 4 is 2 square into 3 would be equal to cube. Okay, so we'll have 2 cube into this 3 and this 3 cube into 2 square is 2 cube would be equal to question mark cube. Take the cube root, you will get the answer as 2 into 3 into 2 equal to 12. See how easy indices and surds are. If you know the basic tricks, okay, or basic tips of multiplying, addition and all that stuff, you can very easily score in this chapter, in this topic. Also, this is very useful in other quantitative aptitude topics also. So keep on practicing. Okay, keep on revising the formulas. Very easy formulas and concepts are there. So keep on practicing so that it would be helpful to score in this, as well as it would be helpful to get accurate and correct and quick answer in other topics also. This is it for surds and indices. Do share the video with friends and give it a like if you liked it. Leave your comments and suggestions for us. You can even request a video on topic of your choice. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated about upcoming videos and tutorials.